I'm Michelle Peterson, and I'm the girl who runs the Mumsy blog, and this is my youngest, Benson, and we are so excited to have you here today because we are going to be talking all about how to transition your baby to solid foods. But before we start, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. I post here every Tuesday and Friday, and I talk all about motherhood and womanhood. Transition your baby from just drinking breast milk or formula and starting to eat solid foods, that can be very tricky and sometimes a scary process. But I've learned a few tips and tricks on how to do that successfully and enjoy the process with your baby and help your baby become a really good eater. The first thing you want to know when it comes to helping your baby transition to solid foods is investing in some really good products. And these are some of my favorites. The next thing you'll want to keep in mind when you begin to start feeding your baby solid foods is feeding your baby the rainbow. Now I'm sure you're wondering what that is, so let me explain. A lot of first-time parents will make a mistake of feeding their babies fruits very first. I think you're just so excited to feed them something and you know a fruit is sweet and something that your baby will like. But if you start on fruits first, it's really hard for your babies to eat vegetables afterwards because they have a more bitter taste. So if you introduce your babies to vegetables first, they'll be used to the bitter taste and like it, and then from there you can move on to fruits. So for me, when I first start feeding my kids baby food, like I said, I start with the vegetable and I start with the darkest colored vegetable, which for us is green beans, and then we work our way up, going from dark to lightest, and usually end on something like, let's see, like mixed vegetables, something lighter color, or even sweet potatoes. Then we move on to our fruits, and we start with the darkest colored fruit and work our way up to the lightest. So I usually start with something like blueberries, and then I work up to pears and apples being some of the last things I introduce to my babies. And then from there I incorporate mixed foods, which means like chicken and rice and veggies. You can get that in baby food format, or I've seen another one where it's like mac and cheese and veggies, and the same with fruits. You can get mixed fruits too. One last thing you'll want to remember when it comes to transitioning your baby into solid foods is learning how to avoid and recognize food allergies. And a great way to do this is stick to one baby food for 3 days. So for me, I start out with green beans and I feed my babies green beans for the next 3 days, because it takes about 3 days for a food allergy to manifest itself. And then if your baby does happen to be allergic to something that you're feeding them, you know exactly what it is instead of having to play the guessing game. Thanks again for stopping by. Don't forget to check out my website, themumsyblog.com. I have a ton more there today on everything you need to know about transitioning your baby into solid foods. See you guys Friday.